Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Lightseer's Tarot by Chris Ann. There's a website for Chris Ann on the back here. Chris-Ann with an E.com. It's at the end of the big paragraph, that box with her picture in it. Feel free to check that out if you'd like to. Freeze frame if you need to, of course. Supportive Oracle cards. Spellcasting Oracle cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lizbeth. Lizbeth is the artwork there. Here's some websites in the back here. Feel free to freeze frame on that and check out any of those. I always notice She Who Is Art at the bottom there. But whatever works for you. Okay. Virgo. Why are things feeling like they're going fast already? Unless, well, if you start off moving fast, well, I shouldn't say that. If it has to be... Apparently, okay, we got upside down cards. I must have done something here. We got right side ups, upside down. I don't usually do them upside down on the channel because it's easier for people to follow if they're right side up. Usually. But there's a bunch of upside down cards. Let's see what this has to say. Because if they had to come up upside down, then they had to. I'm releasing some stress. Oh, this is good. I mean, if you're going to have something upside down, this is one of the better ones to have upside down. 10 of Wands upside down. I'm letting go of something. There's a pattern that's ending. There's a pattern ending. I get that very easily. Especially when the corresponding card is the Hierophant. Also upside down. Somebody has let go. Something has been disconnected. Maybe somebody left a place where you work, somebody that you weren't expecting to do that. The stress level has gone down a lot with this. I mean, hey, if you're going to have upside down cards, these are good upside down cards. The Hierophant in this set, you know, I don't think of the Hierophant as good or bad, upside down or right side up. It depends on what's going on around it. I'm letting go of something that wasn't working. Somebody else seems to have done it, and I just feel like where I am, well, then I guess I have to do that. I have no choice but then to move on from this. They let go. If they let go, what's there left for me to do about it? It seems simple enough, right? And why is the Tower upside down? Is it like a slow death? Is it like a slow death? I'm wondering if it's a slow death. Instead of the Tower falling down, when it's upside down, sometimes I see it like being deconstructed, but it's kind of like, it's safer to do it that way, but it's kind of like I can't really do what I want to do until that's completely taken down so we can rebuild what we want there. I need that spot. It's like I need this land, but while the tower is being slowly taken down, I gotta wait. Sometimes, like, earth signs can make good at that time. Thing is, if you already know what you need to do, you're just like, no, I already have the plan. I already know what needs to go there. I just need that out of my way so I can do it. Yeah, you know what you want. You got the Strength card, and you got the Ace of Swords. A lot of chatter, things just not moving as fast. It's kind of like something is leaving, but instead of it abruptly going, it's kind of like, okay. It's like instead of somebody giving 2 weeks notice, they're giving like 2.5 months, and it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of nice and kind of like, but can you move on so somebody else can move in and we can get past it? It's kind of like if they just left today, in 2.5 months, we'd have picked up and moved on and we'd be restabilized by then. But by them taking 2.5 months to leave, it's like we're not even going to really be dealing with it until they're actually gone. So it's like we know we're going to have to deal with it later, which seems like it would go well for you, but on the other hand, it feels like it's just drawing out the inevitable, and it's kind of annoying. Somebody is like slowly letting go. I don't know what this is. I mean, this is a general read, so take it with a grain of salt, but it's like they're slowly, it's like they got a hold of it real tightly, and they're just slowly letting go. It's, again, instead of 2 week notice, 2.5 months. It's kind of like, okay. They want to keep control of whatever this is. It's almost like somebody's not going to work here anymore, but they're trying to set up things so that even when they're gone, people have to do it the way they said. And it's kind of like, you're not even going to be here anymore. somebody is like not letting go the easiest. They're not letting go the easiest. Nine of Cups reversed is telling me they're still dependent on a couple things, and I feel like they're trying to salvage something even though they're leaving. Another way to look at this is if somebody's ending a relationship and they're obviously going, but they're dragging their feet and they don't want to move, and they're just, instead of being out in 2 weeks, again 2.5 months, they're trying to recoup or trying to grab things, or they're trying to secure something that may not be fair that they're doing that. There's something they want from the situation, and they're slowly moving away because they're trying to take as much as they can before they actually leave. I keep getting a lot of different analogies for this. This is weird. Another one I'm getting is like a business analogy, which this sounds really unscrupulous if this is happening, so take it with a grain of salt. Somebody put in their notice, and they're going to leave in 2.5 months. They're going to be out. But while they're leaving, they're like categorizing all of their contacts. They're making sure they keep all their business connections. They're taking connections with them to their next situation. They're trying to take as much from this situation as they can, which half of me understands why they're doing that. The other half is like, this doesn't seem like this is quite right. It doesn't seem like it's quite, like, half of me gets it. Like, I understand why they do that. The other half is like, I don't know if that's quite fair. I don't know if that's quite right for the situation. There may be a weird bond. The Lovers reversed with the or with the Four of Wands on top of it. This is like being in a marriage where there's no love. This is like being in a marriage where we're just staying together for the kids, and then we just literally just never, we just stay that way. This is what this reminds me of, like staying committed to something that you really don't like, just because you feel like it's like there's no love, but like I said I'd do it, so I'm doing it. That's kind of what this feels like. I don't want to be here, but I said I'd be here, so I'm here. I don't want to be here, but I'm here. I said I would be, and I'm here. It's a very weird situation. The thing is, that's also a situation where if that's the energy, the Ace of Swords is telling me there's a lot of verbal owning of that. It's kind of like, we're going to add a little more flavor to this, I guess. You're staying around, you're staying married to somebody, you don't really like them anymore, you don't even really want to be married to them, but you said you'd stay, and you're staying for whatever reason, but then being very upfront about that, like, I don't really like you, I said I do, so I guess I will. It's kind of like saying that to somebody's face, like, it's not like I love you, I said I'd do this, so I'm here. It's like right in somebody's face like that. It's kind of like, this is quite the thing. That Devil card. When I see that, where it's coming up and what's not working, like, it's kind of like technically making something work, but at the same time, like, destroying it while you're making it work. It's like taking down the tower and building the tower at the same time. Ooh, is that why that's not working right? The tower is upside down too. It really kind of bothers me. And I'm wondering if that's a better way to look at that. It's kind of like trying to build something and take it down at the same time. It's like taking one thing down and building something in its place right at the same time, which makes things really confusing. That's not how you do it. You don't build a skyscraper. You don't build something in the same spot something is being deconstructed at the same time. It's just, that's not the way you do it. You have to take it all the way down, refurbish the base of it, make sure the base is correct for what you want next, and then build again. You don't like take down and build at the same time. That makes no sense. It's like learning something and unlearning it at the same time, or like, it's like if you had learned a language and you're trying to deconstruct what you don't know or what you're saying wrong, and you're trying to build how to say something else, some other part of it right. It's like, or like maybe using two different languages. It's kind of like trying to correct a language that you don't know quite well, and you're trying to fix something from that language, but meanwhile learning another language at the same time. Almost like it's simultaneously. It doesn't seem like that's a good idea. That's what I feel like is going on here. It doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, I guess that's moot, because, how is this going to empower Virgo? Because we're talking about this, but how does this empower Virgo? Ace of Fire and the Tower card. Oh, goodness. They're saying knock the tower down. Otherwise, you're going to have a crappy structure that's going to be very faulty and very dangerous. Knock the tower down. Knock that tower down. Knock the tower down. Push it down so you can grieve what's lost. Let it be done. Stop dragging it out. I don't know. I don't feel like that's your choice for it to be dragged out to begin with, but it's kind of like you do seem to have some say about knocking this tower down. Knock the tower down, or at the very least, put your foot down and say, I'm not building the next situation until that one's done. So we're just going to stick where we are until that person leaves. It may be 2.5 months, and if that's how it has to be, then get them out. And once they're out, then we'll start rebuilding. We're not going to start rebuilding until they're out. We need to get them out first. Once they're out, okay, we'll do what we need to do. Knock the tower down. I know that sounds kind of... sounds like it sounds. But they're saying once the tower is done, once that's moved on, you can build what you need to, and it'll build correctly. It'll be right the way it needs to be done. We need to get that out. We need to knock the tower down. You'll find once you got rid of the history of the situation, you can create new history. We can't keep building on something that we're not going to keep. We can't be relying on something that we're not going to be able to use. You know what I mean? We got to get rid of this stuff. Like, the more we take down and build up at the same time, like, we're getting used to doing things a certain way that we're not going to be able to do them that way in the future. We're going to create these processes that are not going to work. Like, for example, somebody's going to be around for another 2.5 months, and they're like, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that. And then when they leave, you're like, okay, now who's going to do it? Now we have to train somebody else to do that. We never should have trained the person that was leaving. Like, why did that even happen? That's kind of the example of taking down the tower and building it at the same time. If somebody's going to leave and they're like, I'm going to be leaving in 2.5 months, don't give them new responsibilities. Teach other people to do their responsibilities and edge them out sooner. Kind of like, thank you for the 2.5 months, but, 1 month will do, and then you got to go. Sorry, but that's how it's got to go. Knock the tower down. Knock the tower down. I know that sounds crazy, maybe a little bit, or maybe for those of you that's hitting with, maybe you'll know exactly what I'm saying with it and what needs to be done, and you'll just do it. Hopefully. Knocking the tower down sounds a little violent, I know that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Because the sooner we can grieve it, the sooner we can build it correctly. That's the answer, so I don't know what else I'm looking for. I think I should just accept it and move on. Okay. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.